Alright, man, this is the most disgusting apology video of all time. This is by August the Duck. Yes, August the Duck.
But I figure we need to address it, or else people will never know the truth. People will never know my story. I tried really hard. I posted hundreds, if not thousands of times a day in so many Reddit pages, on my own, on my Twitter, just stuff like that. As you know, I was working as a preschool teacher, technically pre-K, pre-kindergarten, and so I had a lot of free time at work where I would post on those apps. I did go to the bathroom a few times and snap a nude.
Well, guys,
Hold the up! At the school? At the mother school.
we're back. Apologies for the lack of uploads over the last week or so. As I'm sure many of you are already aware, the southern United States has been kind of been getting the business from tornadoes recently, and for the last 6 days, my power has been out. So, been a rough time over here. But we're back. Hopefully. It's sunny right now, but that doesn't really mean anything. Hopefully it stays that way though. That's not what we're talking about today, however. Today we are talking about our quarterly scheduled shitty influencer apology video. Always a good time. Now, influencers and shitty apology videos is one of the great constants in our universe. The day that we start to see influencers spend like, I don't know, 1/10 of what they make in a month on a PR team to try and save their career instead of throwing it into the toilet is going to be one of the saddest days on the internet. Because it's basically a routine at this point. Every 2 or 3 months, some influencer somewhere is recording an apology video that is somehow going to make everything about 10 times worse than if they had just left it alone and not said a thing. It honestly seems like some sort of skill with these people sometimes, and one person who possesses that skill is the guy you're looking at right now.
I'm trying to listen to this, but like, at what point did you think those careers would even mix? Like, I get needing extra money. I'm not, if you did that shit faceless in the sanctity of your own home, cool. But like, it clearly wasn't faceless because they see what you look like, and you did it at the school. At what point? Like, there's not, you can't be that broke. I don't blame anybody for doing any OF, bro. You might need the extra money. Okay, I get it. The economy is bad. Do what you gotta do. But there has to be some kind of fucking line. If you're a preschool teacher, if you're any type of teacher, and you feel like you have to do OF content, at least do the motherfucker faceless. You have this kids watching you. What if somebody's parent would have pulled up to the school that looked at your OnlyFans and said, you get him out of here. He does only, you know what I'm saying? Like, and if you got middle school students and they find out, or high school students and they find out, what do you think that, like, are you, at least be smart about it. And then doing it at the fucking school. Like, niggas don't know how to keep their private life private.
Michael Duvall. Now, I had never heard of this guy before this week, but apparently he's pretty popular on TikTok and OnlyFans. And recently, he's gone under fire for some OnlyFans posts that he's made in the past from when he used to work at a preschool. Yeah, now, using the word caught doesn't really work here because it's not like he was really trying to hide it, but I guess it was discovered by people who weren't paying for this degenerate shit to begin with that a couple of years ago when this guy was working at a preschool, he was making OnlyFans content while on the job in the bathroom, posting totally normal pictures and videos of him doing stuff like, you know, ejaculating onto the kiddie toilet. Now, naturally,
you beat your shit in a public pre-K bathroom. You're going on the registry.
Once people started to hear about this, they got...
Bro, even if you piss in public, you're labeled as a... Are you dumb, nigga? If you piss in public and nobody around sees you but the cop, you're still going down as a fucking offender. You're getting put on the register. If you have in public and a cop catches you, you're going, are you dumb, stupid nigga? Oh my God.
pretty upset, and they started to call for a response from him. And the other day he gave one, and well, it's pretty fucking bad. No real accountability is taken.
Like, bring back Shane, bro. Bring back Shane, bro. Money could never be this tight. I don't give a fuck. Like, there's always, you can do something. Like, money is never this fucking tight where you have to take a fucking nude and beat your shit in a preschool fucking bathroom, you dirty bitch.
During the entirety of this 10-minute...
Oh, God, you make me want to slur. Bro, you one of the reasons on why they think the gay motherfuckers is the problem. Dead ass. You're one of the reasons why they have such a problem with the LGBT community. Because of stupid shit like that. God, you make me want to slur.
Long yap session. If anything, he kind of tries to blame other people. It's pretty damn bad, and more people should know about the sick shit this guy did, so here we are. But let's not waste any more time. Let's begin. Please subscribe. Now, the first few minutes of this apology, or this response, calling this an apology doesn't really feel right. He doesn't really apologize for anything. But the first few minutes is him talking about a past relationship, which doesn't really seem to have much relevancy in what he's talking about. If anything, it just sort of seems like it's him giving himself an excuse. He says the relationship was abusive and he did some things that he wouldn't do, and it's kind of what got him back to posting onto OnlyFans, but all of this happened after this relationship, so it seems sort of irrelevant to bring up in a video where you're talking about something like what this guy did.
Now, growing up how I did, it's no shock that I was really excited seeing all this money that was coming in, and so I tried really hard. I posted hundreds, if not thousands of times a day in so many Reddit pages, on my OnlyFans, on my Twitter, just stuff like that. And as you know, I was working as a preschool teacher, technically pre-K, pre-kindergarten, and so I had a lot of free time at work where I would post on those apps. I did go to the bathroom a few times and snap a nude. A lot of the reason why I did that was because I was getting paid by people, and now when I said that, people thought I was getting paid by like I don't know if you can say this word, PDF files, you know what I'm trying to say. People thought I was catering to them, and now with some of those Reddit groups I was in, I should not have been in. They were definitely like dad, son, trans girls. I got kicked out of a lot of groups for like not even fitting the criteria, and it was definitely weird. But when you're in sex work, I don't know. I was just too blinded by the money that was coming in. I know that's no excuse.
Okay, so the way
I see no remorse on your face. Like, there's no remorse on your face. Like, even still, right? You say you're posting thousands and you're posting, listen, I wouldn't even give a fuck if you were, and if you had some free time, you're like, all right, I have these pictures, let me post it. If it's your phone, it's your phone. I don't even give a fuck if you're posting it while you're, but doing it at the school is so insane. Like, physically getting naked to take a nude photo, like, even if it's you got it on your phone, that's the privacy of your phone. You're not bothering nobody. You're sitting in a corner. Nobody's coming up. Like, but you're in the bathroom. You're in the school where somebody could possibly see you flicking it up.
That this was brought up and the way that it was talked about is just very strange to me. He brings up the very fair criticism that a lot of people are having of him, that it seems like the only people who would want pictures like that are people who might be into some stuff that they shouldn't be. And he brings it up and he's like, people are saying that I'm catering to these kinds of people, and it seems like he's going to try and defend himself, and then it's like he doesn't. He was like, yeah, I was in some groups I shouldn't have been, interacting with some people that I shouldn't have been interacting with, and then sort of just like excuses it all away by saying, oh, well, when you're doing sex work, you kind of just get caught up in some...
Well, I wouldn't phrase it like that. Saying sorry would have been better, but I feel like trying to defend himself in that situation would have been worse.
I was in some groups I shouldn't have been, interacting with some people that I shouldn't have been interacting with, and then sort of just like excuses it all away by saying, oh, well, when you're doing sex work, you kind of just get caught up in some stuff. He basically acknowledged that he realized what he was doing, he just didn't really care. As long as he was making the money, he didn't really care who he catered to, and with that mindset, it makes a whole lot of sense why this apology sucks so bad. Because if you can cater to those kinds of people for money, you had no morals to begin with.
So then fast forward to the day I took my first nude at work. I honestly don't remember it, but I do remember that I would get paid like say $45 to take a picture. They'd say go take it, and I would. Now, I never did any of this while clocked in. I wasn't allowed to have bathroom breaks like that unless it was an emergency, of course. So when I was in the bathroom, I was upstairs, classrooms were downstairs, I was far away from everyone, in the teacher's bathroom that was locked. That's another thing people are confused about, because they see that the toilets had like little training seats on it, and there was 2 toilets in the bathroom, which was kind of weird. And I think like originally a long time ago, those were kids' bathrooms, and we would use them in an emergency, but for the most part, those were for the teachers. I'm not excusing anything I did. There is definitely no excuse, but I do just want to say that it would have happened at that time at any job I worked at. If I was working at the movie theater, still would have happened there instead.
Says he's not going to excuse any of his behavior, and then immediately begins to try and excuse it by saying some bullshit like, oh, well, I have no self-control and I don't know how to behave in public, so I would have done this anywhere. Like, what kind of bullshit is that? Like,
there's a time and a place for everything, bro. I don't know. Like, this gives me the same vibes as those, like, nobody gets an excuse for this public sex shit. I just think it's like, I don't even like, PDA, like, public display of affection. Like, yeah, a peck on the mouth or whatever, but, like, a full, like, you know how niggas be, like, trying to have sex at shows and full makeup. Like, I'm like, like, you could have saved that for home. You know what I mean?
Like, look, it's one thing to go into a bathroom and take a naked picture of yourself, okay? You're taking your pants off anyways. To try and say taking a video of yourself masturbating onto a child's toilet seat in a preschool is the same as taking a naked picture in a movie theater bathroom is fucking insane. And even without the context that he's purposely leaving out, you know, doing this shit onto a child's toilet seat.
Oh, see, I didn't even read that. I didn't even realize that because I ain't never seen the video. See, there's a whole thing. You see how there's a split narrative? He's trying to push a narrative that all I did was take a new picture. No, you were out here beating your shit and busting a nut on a fucking child-like toilet seat. That's weird. That's fucking weird. There's no excuse for that.
Just
stop trying to and add the context, nigga. If people found out like what you did and are confronting you, they clearly seen the video. Stop trying to fucking dance it up and make it pretty. You know what the fuck you did, you nasty nigga.
A naked picture in a preschool is not the same as taking it in a fucking movie theater. You are a preschool teacher. People are sending their children to you, trusting you to be a responsible adult, and you're up in the fucking break room making porn. No adult should think that's okay.
It's not.
It just so happened to be at the daycare, which makes everything so much more worse. I didn't even fully remember anything until people went on my OnlyFans and they found it for me, and a lot of people are saying that I'm still getting paid for those posts or that they're still up, but they're not. I took those down already. And if you go to my OnlyFans, you'll see I have thousands of posts, and I scrolled so far as much as I could to find them all, and it was probably like 4 or 5 different posts. There's no reason or excuse I shouldn't have waited till I got home. I guess I was just too focused on the money.
So he keeps going back to this idea that he was just focused on the money and that's why he was doing all of this. But personally, I just can't really buy that. If a person is sending you money in the middle of a work day to go take a naked picture of yourself, that person probably doesn't have a whole lot going on. They're sending you money for something that they want. You are in the driver's seat there. You're in control. This idea that he had to just go do it right then and there because he was so caught up in the money, I don't really think that's what happened here. He basically said it himself that he found himself catering to a certain kind of person. I think the fact that these pictures and these videos were taken in a preschool is part of the reason why people were paying him for it. This does not seem like a thing where he just happened to be at a preschool. This seems like this was all done purposefully.
Should I have done it? No. It was gross. It doesn't excuse anything, but at the same time, I hate when people call me names when I know it's not true, or people assume that I was doing stuff.
I hate when people call me names when it's not true. Nigga, you did not help the case. First of all, what niggas found and what you're saying, you're dancing around the subject. You're not saying exactly what you did. Point blank. Like, you not exposing the full truth or saying what you fully did already points me to what type of person you are. Oh yeah, I only took a nude. No, nigga, he was beating your dick in a child's bathroom, bro. Even if it was a teacher's bathroom and had a child's seat on it. You was beating your shit in there. You're weird. Dancing around that subject like you didn't do it is crazy in itself. And then doing it, it's like, oh yeah, so the money, bro, there's not that much money in the world, bro. And you did this to you did it. I did some crazy shit that if the police caught me doing this, would you be labeled that? Yes. So people calling you that should not be that fucking far-fetched. Niggas just probably calling you a pedo, calling you weird. But if you were to get caught by the police doing said thing, what would you be labeled as? What would they charge you with? Exactly. What they would charge you with is what niggas is calling you because The only difference is the police didn't catch you. You didn't get charged. That's the only difference.
Stuff that I wasn't doing just because it was at a daycare. Where it was had nothing to do with what I was doing or what I was putting out.
Okay,
or the people
you're saying it has nothing to do with it, but you still did it. That's hey, bro. It don't matter. It don't matter where the fuck you was. You still did it. You still did it.
Was talking to. Those people did not know where I work. Those people did not care where I work. I remember I did post in some of those groups before, like, I'm a teacher. I was trying to have that shock factor. I was trying to have that thing that makes me kind of different. A lot of the captions and the things I would use, like, I know I shouldn't be doing this here, I would use as clickbait.
This motherfucker is just talking to talk. He came into this with absolutely zero game plan. Says that what he did for a living or where he was working had no effect on what he was selling or the people he was interacting with. And then immediately...
Now you deadass doubled back and said you tried to get some shock factor saying you were a teacher. Nigga, are you stupid? Is he stupid? Like, they had no idea what I was doing. Oh, but I'm a teacher. If you tell niggas you're a teacher and then boom, 3 posts later, they see you fucking beating your shit next to a small seat made for... What the fuck? 2 and 2 equals what? 4, dumb nigga. Like, oh my God.
Follows that up by saying he was using what he did for a living and where he was making this content as a way to bring in customers. How stupid can you be?
I also have racist tweets, which I know if I address this, people will bring that up. I have tweets from like 2014 where...
Oh yeah, wrap this nigga up, bro. Oh my... So, racist too? Like, goddamn, nigga. Pick one. Pick one. You want to be a PDF or a racist, bro? You're both? You had the audacity to say racist shit. You can't make this up. You can't. Tad, this is real life for some people, bro.
Where I said the most insane things. I said things about animals I shouldn't have said, like abusive, not sexual. And I said things about people, groups of people, black people, Asian people. I was very much unhinged and kind of wild as a kid, and I don't want to use the house I lived in as an excuse. There really is no excuse.
Crazy thing to throw in right there, just as like a little fun fact, but that's...
I was, also with like everything that I did, I was also a little racist. Maybe I was justifying animal abuse. Like, I'm really bottom tier human. Holy shit.
Basically, the entirety of the apology, at least what matters. He kind of just continues to repeat himself for the rest of the video, says the normal apology shit that these influencers say, how they never meant to hurt anybody, how they never meant for it to be taken the wrong way, when it's like, well, don't really know how many ways there are to take something like this. One thing I find really silly is that he apologizes to all the mothers of the kids he was watching, and he says something like, I never meant to make you guys question what kind of person I am. And it's like, what do you mean by that? Are you basically just saying you didn't mean to get caught? Because that's what it sounds like. I mean, what do you mean by saying you didn't want to make them question the kind of person you are? I don't think anybody sending their kid to a preschool thinks that the preschool teacher is the kind of person to make porn in the bathroom. So it's like, don't even know what that means. Shitty apology full of shitty excuses and a whole lot of talking that doesn't mean anything. So, pretty much on par for the course of an influencer apology. At least you did one thing right, Michael. Well, guys, what do you think? How do you think we should treat this apology? Personally, I feel like for most things, if you apologize for something and you mean it, you should be forgiven. However, I think there are a lot of things that even if you apologize for and you mean it, forgiveness is just not really going to come, and you've got to be okay with that. Sure. In this case, unfortunately for Michael, I think we've got something that you probably shouldn't really be forgiven for, even if you apologize for it. And we also have a shitty apology where he clearly didn't mean a single word that he said. So, kind of a 1-2 combo. Yeah. People need to be held responsible for the shitty...
Responsibility, accountability, and shame. Bring it all back. Responsibility, accountability, and shame. Bring it back. Bring it back. And bring back hands. Some of these niggas need hands. Oh, God. Like, sometimes those first 3 don't cut it. Some of these niggas need hands. Give them hands, bruh. No cap. No cap.
Dangerous shit they do. And you know what? Hopefully Michael gets a taste of that, because for the most part, seems like influencers don't really have to deal with that anymore. We're getting soft, people. See ya.
Yeah, man. That'd be a video. Shout out Mr. Duck.